Welcome to What the It's Like House of Cards, if by cards you mean plug toilets. For a preview of tonight's show, we go to Timothy Walton in the legal department. Timothy, what do we have in store for tonight's show?
Jim, on tonight's show, we'll be discovering that an active brain may deter addiction, and some of those pursuits may lead to societal change. In addition, we find that your phone can determine whether you are depressed, and soon may be able to psychoanalyze you. Jim?
Thank you very much, Timothy. We'll join you at the end of the show. Okay. People train for years and sacrifice many dreams to be here. But enough about the Transvestite Special Olympics. Let's meet tonight's panel. In the far chair, it's the international woman of intrigue, Cynthia Gregory. She's so mysterious, only Navajo code talkers truly understand her. In the middle chair, you knew her as Kate Swanson, but now that she's pursuing an acting career, she goes by her stage name, Kate Manbear. Word of advice, Kate, don't audition for any acting jobs with the terms ATM or BBC in them. It's not about British finance. In between them, he's an actor, director, writer, and the most famous person you haven't heard of. It's C.J. Silverman. If wit was a storage locker, I'd stick my junk in him. Finally, sitting next to me, despite the restraining order, is attorney at law Mel Patterson. If concise, simple contractual language was gay marriage, priests would abstain from doing him. Yeah, there you go. And they should. Issue number one. Will keeping at it help you break the habit? A new study from UC Berkeley suggests that even a short time spent in a stimulating learning environment can rewire the brain's reward system and buffer it against drug dependence. Scientists tracked the cocaine cravings of more than 70 adult male mice and found that those mice that were provided a daily drill of exploration, learning, and finding hidden tasty treats were less likely than their bored counterparts to take a hit of cocaine. They were also less likely to do this. Yeah, you know, chinchilla shots, delicious. But, all right. All right, hey, Cynthia, learning breaks addiction. Are you buying this or not?
Like most faux science that you present on this program, no.
Okay, why?
Well, I think if you have your brain stimulated by cocaine or any other wonderful drug that might be out there, I think breaking it with just learning is going to be really hard. And I think it's going to take much more than that to get chinchillas out of champagne glasses and, you know.
So Sudoku won't help you with painkillers?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Or the antidepressants?
Well, the antidepressants, I can't stop them.
Oh, okay.
I just can't. Don't make me.
Don't make you stop them?
Don't make them. No, if you ask me to do a hard math problem, it's still going to make me want to do more antidepressant drugs.
But during the time you spend on the hard math problem, will you be taking the antidepressants?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. So
there's no question. Okay. Math makes me depressed.
All right.
Just ask my math professors in college.
So you are totally not buying this?
No, it's like it's all the rest of the faux science here. I don't believe it.
Okay. All right. Mel, what's your take?
I believe it. You know, I really do. You know, it's like, for example, cigarettes. I think that you can break a cigarette addiction with, you know, a learned behavior.
Is that why you went to law school?
Yeah, exactly.
Did it break your addiction to cigarettes?
Never had an addiction to cigarettes, actually.
See, it worked.
Other things. It worked.
But what about your addiction to caffeine?
Well, I do have an addiction to caffeine.
Did you get it in law school?
No.
Oh, okay. You had it before law school.
I had it before law school, yeah.
Law school didn't help you break it then?
No.
Did it make it worse or better?
It made it worse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, you spend a lot of time studying law and you know, you need that caffeine to keep you up at night.
Well, haven't you just undermined your point and proven Cynthia right?
What?
Yeah, that, you know, the stimulating learning environment has caused you to increase your addiction to.
No. My understanding of the premise of your question was, does the stimulating learning environment help you break your addiction? And this certainly didn't do that for me.
That's right, but you just undermined your original point where you said you agree with it.
No.
So you just don't want to admit that a woman is right. You see, your real addiction is not admitting when a woman is right. See,
I don't think that's an addiction. That's just being wrong.
Oh, there you go. CJ. Yeah, now you work in a learning environment. Whether or not it's stimulating or not remains to be seen, but what's your take on that?
That would only be up to my students to make that determination, because I would say that engaging in a meaningful intellectual pursuit could probably stop an addiction.
Right.
Now, it depends on what you're studying, of course. If you're studying using drugs, then perhaps maybe that's counterintuitive.
Well, given what you teach, do you notice your students as being addiction-free or addiction? Something?
It seems like the more I talk, the more they're using Twitter, so they become more addicted to social media, and they're not paying attention. Even though I try to engage them, try to make the lectures stimulating, the more group exercise I have, the more they're Twittering. I don't know.
Are you familiar with Anthony Weiner?
Yes,
That might break your Twitter addiction.
it could do a lot more than that. It could end you up in jail.
There you go. You don't have to use real. You don't have to use real anatomy. Just faux.
Oh, okay.
So,
So zucchini works?
like they did in that movie with Mark Wahlberg, the porno movie, the pseudo porn movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, I recall that film. Yeah. Well, Burt Reynolds was in it, I think.
He's like, yes, it was fake. Yeah. Kate, now as an aspiring actress, do you find that learning a new craft that is acting and auditioning for roles, do you find that to be a stimulating environment?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your take on this?
I think I believe it, that a stimulating environment would make you keep your brain engaged and keep you thinking of things and not make you seek out what you're addicted to.
And is that why you pursued acting, because there's very little history of addiction in the Hollywood and acting industry, right?
There's hardly any.
Hardly any.
Yeah, hardly any.
Right.
And if you get addicted, then you know, that sort of helps your career because you're in the tabloids more and, you know, your name's out there, so.
And
maybe they're faking it.
Oh, that's right. So
They're acting.
So Lindsay Lohan's really clean and sober, right? She's just pretending to be
She
a rep.
could be the best actress of our generation.
That would be very persuasive. That would be a very convincing acting role.
I mean,
almost like Caitlyn Jenner being a woman. That's very persuasive too. Right.
Let's not go there.
And you guys all went to college, right?
I just think that as for CJ and me, you proceed from a false assumption that law school is some kind of stimulating learning environment.
Well, that's true.
You
But
know?
you also went on. Y'all have undergraduate degrees at least, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you find those to be stimulating learning environments in college?
Yes.
Drug-free as well, right? Known for its abstention,
Not my
sobriety,
You know.
right?
You know.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. Hey, issue number 2. Can apathy now bring change somehow? A new study from MIT, or as Al Sharpton would say, MIT, concludes that citizens in non-democratic countries who do not follow all the laws are engaging in constructive noncompliance, acts that are intended to prompt the government to alter its policies without necessarily challenging its overall status. The study interviewed citizens in rural China and found that non-compliant citizens often take the regime's legitimacy for granted, at least when asked by government officials. And they think their own subversions of the law, often based around issues concerning property, will eventually affect change. For further comment, we turn to the spokesman for the coalition to legalize reptilian bubble popping.
Bubbles. Pop, pop, pop the bubbles. Pop them. Pop. Good girl.
That's 2 sweet things.
Oh, wow.
You know, I did not know that reptilian bubble popping was against the law in California, but then again, you know,
Only Orange County.
let's see.
Everything's against the law in California.
That and plastic bags, but all right. Hey, CJ, as a lawyer, as a person who teaches the law, defiance of the law intended to invoke political change. Are you buying this or not?
I do. I think that as you remodel public consciousness, you should remodel the law. And we can't just stay stuck in the roots. As an example, look at the Constitution here in the United States. Do we in fact have a separation of church and state? Or can you go down to any city hall and see a public display of Christmas ornaments and Hanukkah trees?
I wouldn't know about that, but would that explain your speeding tickets?
To some extent.
And the fact that you don't sort your recycling out?
Well, how did you know? I tried, but apparently the blue ones for paper and the green ones for disposable
Compost,
and I kind of mixed it up. Perhaps I was sleepwalking when I sorted out.
Well, I think you said you refused to sort out your clear glass versus your colored glass because it was racist.
Yeah, the colored glass. I mean, I made a film called The Injustice System in America, which is about the disparate treatment of people of color in the prison system. So I just extrapolated that out to glass-related objects.
So
as well.
you want me to refer to colored glass as glass of color?
If you wouldn't mind.
Well,
and Title VII should.
Well, as the other lawyer, what's your take on breaking the law?
Now, restate the question for me.
What's your take on people breaking the law as a sign of trying to enact social change?
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Okay, so what laws do you break?
None.
So you are
society's fine with me, you know.
Yeah, you're okay with society completely as it is.
I like it just the way it is.
You are okay with the man?
Yeah, I am.
And
people have called me the man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are those young ladies in Thailand who may not be ladies?
No comment.
Okay. Just want to know. Cynthia, what's your take on this?
What was the
total
question?
apathy?
Non-compliance to the law is in a way to affect social
I thought this
change.
was a comedy show.
It is.
When did it turn to be so serious? Are we on your other show now? Did I sleep through the first segment?
No, that's all right. I just wanted something a little bit less about penises.
I think you do better when you talk about penises. It gives you something to aspire towards.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Now, granted, she hasn't
5
seen,
degree drop in temperature.
She hasn't seen it, but then again, a lot of people haven't seen it. It's like Loch Ness Monster. It exists, it just appears infrequently, like my doctor's office. Right?
I'm sorry, this is just I have nothing to say about this one. You lawyers, talk amongst yourselves for this one, because I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that really? You don't have anything to say? I mean,
Well, she did say something.
that's true about my penis, but anyway. Which she probably doesn't have any expertise on, but anyways.
And thank God.
Too much information.
That's a whole different law we're breaking.
Okay.
Well, do you notice subtle defiance of the law in democratic societies as opposed to just rural China? What do you think, Sam?
There's definitely people break the law.
Okay. Do you think they're trying to subtly enact subtle social change in the United States or in democracy?
I don't think they're trying to, but I think they probably are. I think, with the amount of people who smoke pot, and now pot's becoming more legal, and people always sped when the speed limit was 55, and now it's not 55 anymore.
All right. Or when you smuggle in cigarettes for sale, right?
That is going to be legal someday.
Yeah. Cigarettes, yes. I hope they'll be legal someday.
Even if the man finds out.
That's true. All right. Hey, right on time for this segment. On to our first break. We're back. Issue number 3. Can your smartphone tell if you're gonna groan? Oh God, that was terrible. A study from Northwestern Medicine finds that your smartphone can indicate if you are depressed. The average daily usage for depressed individuals was about 68 minutes a day, while for non-depressed individuals it was about 17 minutes. Also, spending most of your time at home or in a few locations as measured by the GPS tracking on your cell phone are also linked to depression. But you know who's not depressed? This guy.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, praise his name.
You are filled with much self-esteem if you're willing to dress yourself up as a dog and talk about Jesus. But anyway, all right. So smartphones can detect depression. Kate, agree or disagree?
Let's see. I think I agree. Probably if you're not interacting with people and getting out of the house, those are probably signs of depression. I thought that the statistic that not depressed people use their smartphones 17 minutes a day was a ridiculously small number. I think people are on their phones.
So how many minutes a day do you use your smartphone?
Well,
if you can give me an estimate.
I would say 60 at least.
And you don't consider yourself depressed?
Well, now I'm worried.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
now is that all just talking on the phone, or are you also playing Words with Friends?
I don't play Words with Friends.
Okay. So
I guess I
just-
need some friends.
Okay. Oh, there you go. There you go. Cynthia, what's your take? More faux science from you?
I think it is more faux science. The correlation is not necessarily causation, and if we were going to say how much time people spent on their phones was correlated with depression, I think every teenager in America would be depressed.
Oh, I don't think the study necessarily says it causes it. It just says it's
a correlation.
It's a correlation.
It's a correlation, but correlation it doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Okay.
So I think they need more better studies. And just because you're on your phone or on your electronic device looking at social media all the time, like I said, if that were the case, then every teenager would be depressed because they don't let go of those things. Never,
and of
ever.
course, by your personal opinion, the teenagers as a general group are the happiest, most self-fulfilled people on the planet.
No, I didn't say that, but I don't think every single teenager is depressed either.
Okay.
So
Oh,
if you're going to say the more time you spend on your phone, the more depressed you are, then every teenager would be depressed.
Okay.
So that doesn't follow for me.
Okay, so you're not buying this.
No.
Well, I'll go with the lawyers
just
who
being
probably
really
are,
contrary
who have
today.
cell phone implants. CJ.
Yeah, well, I've got a new application called My Freud.
Okay.
And I talk into my cell phone, and the My Freud application is a great therapist because I say, CJ, how are you feeling today? Not very well. And they say, hey, it sounds like you're not feeling very well.
Uh-huh.
And then they say, by the way, my bill is in the mail, and then I really feel depressed.
Your app, your My Freud app
Yeah.
bills you?
Yeah.
What does it bill you?
Oh, $100 a minute.
Oh, man.
You really just go for the 976 numbers. That's probably cheaper. Do they still have those around now?
I have no idea.
Sure, right. Is it on your speed dial? Is it on one of your contacts?
I'm not saying.
Okay.
Yeah, forget it.
It's a Thailand number. That was
I
That's
think-
right.
Because I think we got a call right before the show asking you they were missing you because you hadn't called them
Yeah,
about an hour, about a day.
I haven't paid the bill. That's the
Oh,
problem.
we haven't paid the bill.
Jim got the
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
I told him wrong number. I had it over to you, but no. What's your take on
No,
this?
of course I don't believe this. This is I'm with the rest of the group here. Well, I guess with the exception of CJ.
So you're not gonna sue the wireless carriers demanding that they provide Valium with their wireless subscriptions, right?
It doesn't. You know me very well, Jim. You know that I don't need to have a valid cause of action to sue somebody. I just have to.
So you're still going to sue
Yes,
cell phone carriers,
absolutely.
demanding that they prescribe
Absolutely.
Valium with your plan. Right?
I'm like you.
Would you join that class action, Cynthia? Even though you don't need any antidepressants, right?
I don't know that Mel's win rate is high enough for me to join his.
No, we're talking about his legal win rate, not his win rate with winning.
Oh. Well, then maybe.
Okay. All right. So, we are done with this segment. So let's go to issue number 4. If machines can think, are humans on the brink? Scientists at the Rensselaer, I think I pronounced that right, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute have built a trio of robots that have passed the classic wise men puzzle test of self-awareness. 2 were prevented from talking, then all 3 were asked which one was still able to speak. All attempted to say, I don't know, but only one succeeds. And when it hears its own voice, it understands that it was not silenced, saying, sorry, I know now. The test is not as simple for a robot. It must listen to and understand the question, then hear its own voice saying, I don't know, and recognize it as distinct from another robot's voice, then connect with that original question to conclude that they hadn't been silenced. I'm sure a programmer understands this. I don't. So anyways, we now go to the self-aware robot, SAR. How does self-awareness feel? Yeah, self-aware robot knows how to strut his stuff. Hey, Kate, I assume you work with programmers. I just have a generic idea that you were in the techie field.
I was.
Self-aware robots, do you think this was the sufficient test for self-awareness?
No.
No? Why not?
Well, it doesn't show that they know they're a self and they think and it shows that they can solve this one problem. But
okay, but
that's not enough. It's not enough for me.
Is it a step in the direction, though?
Oh, sure. I mean, robots are going to overtake us. I
Okay.
mean, we make more mistakes.
So Mel is okay. Mel doesn't necessarily need to buy all sorts of survival supplies and buy a cabin out in Idaho yet. Once Skynet.
I've got the cabin already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Idaho is the home of the crazies.
Oh, okay. That's
true.
no, Mel, not your rendition of Saw 5. But, yeah.
I'm going with him.
Oh, you're going with them with Sky,
yeah.
Skynet when they upload the program to Skynet?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Cynthia, I think you also used to work with people who would be PQ programmers. What's your take on this?
Well, I always thought that the be-all and end-all test for robotics, whether robots were equivalent to humans or being able to surpass that, was the Turing test, which is when someone could question a robot and not be able to distinguish them between their answers between that of a robot and that of a human. So I don't think the Turing test has been passed in this particular instance.
Are we getting closer?
I think that's an interesting question. I'd have to look a little bit more deeply at the test results.
Okay.
But it looks like there's maybe just a quick glimmer of self-awareness, but I'm not convinced that wasn't just clever programming.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
yeah.
So you saw Ex Machina then, right?
No, actually, I haven't seen that movie.
It's
but
about that. But,
yeah, well,
anyways,
that'd be
so
there.
if robots did become self-aware, do you think they'd be more likely to be nice and considerate or self-centered jerks?
Well, I think this is going to be a question for the ages. Are we going to be able to program Asimov's laws into our robotics and keep them from harming humans? And if we can do that, we probably have a chance, but that's still science fiction.
Okay. Do you think self-aware robots would prefer discussing stories about their self-awareness or penis jokes?
Oh, if it was your robot or Vink's robot, I would say it would be penis jokes.
Oh, okay. All right. CJ, self-aware robot, would it be a good lawyer or a bad lawyer?
Well, I think self-aware anything would be a good lawyer, and
As opposed to lawyers in general, right?
yeah, because you have to engage in zealous advocacy. So if you're not self-aware, how can you advocate for your client?
Right. Well, you just hook a Gatling gun onto it. Isn't that pretty zealous advocacy?
It depends what courtroom you're in. If you're in the federal district court in San Jose, perhaps.
Oh, well, that might get you past the get you past the metal detector.
Oh, yeah, well, you'd have to know the judge, obviously.
Slightly different question. A self-aware robot, how would it be as a judge?
So as a judge, you would have to, in a probate matter, they would ask the robot, are you aware of the nature and extent of your bounty?
Right.
And if they couldn't ask that question in the affirmative, then they obviously are not self-aware.
No, the robot's the judge.
Oh, the robot's the judge.
Not the party, the
well,
judge.
most judges are robotic.
Really?
The ones that I've appeared before.
None of your judge friends watch the show, do they?
I have no friends, so the answer would be no.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right, so let's see here. I'll just throw out just a yes or no question to the rest of the group. If robots became self-aware, start something great or the beginning of the end?
Depends. I mean, look, Japanese sex bots, no.
No good?
No good being self-aware.
right.
They have one function. I just want them to have that one function.
Okay, Mel, I'm gonna end at that because I just think it's good. All right,
Nowhere to go.
our second break. We're back from our second break. Hey, for those of you who want to follow us on social media, we are on Twitter, and if you don't care about our social media, just want to send me endless email, the email is also down here somewhere on the bottom. We are at the final segment of the show, and this is the fact-checking segment of the show. This is where we discover where we went wrong during the pendency of the show. And for that, we turn to Timothy Walton in our legal department. Hey, Timothy, how did we do tonight?
Well, I have limited time, Jim, to discuss all of the errors that the panel has made. But let's begin with the first segment. The movie that you were thinking of is called Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
And speaking of Heather Graham, Lindsay Lohan is the best actress of our generation.
Really? Oh, wow.
Great for her.
Latest movie proves it.
All right. At least, well, she hasn't done a sex video yet, so I guess that might be an
We don't know.
that we know of.
Yeah.
We know of.
She's saving that for her comeback.
CJ, I have to point out there are no religious displays on public grounds in California, and also glasses of color are called sunglasses.
I prefer mirrored Americans.
Mel, you claimed to be innocent, essentially. You know that nobody is innocent, but you demand.
He is the man. He is the man.
Cynthia, you are most definitely wrong about things being more fun when Jim is talking about penis. Nobody wants to hear about penises coming from Jim's mouth.
That's
Jim,
an audio, not a
you were
visual.
wrong to suggest that Kate smuggles cigarettes.
Yeah.
We all know you're just trying to protect Mel.
True. What else you got for me, Timothy?
I wanted to point out to Kate that robots are not going to take over the world. And stay away from Mel's cabin.
But I need to go.
No,
Please.
you don't want to go. There's no safe word in Mel's cabin.
Oh, okay.
50 Shades of Mel.
50 Shades of Mel.
He's the man.
That's right.
That's why it's 50 Shades of the Man.
CJ, your phone app violates well-established trademarks and publicity rights. The estate of Sigmund Freud will be in touch.
That's fine. I've
I
talked
thought
to
it
him before.
was from the estate of Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
It shows you how much I know. I just take things at face value.
Also, CJ, calling a federal judge robotic justifies him getting out the Gatling gun.
Oh, yeah. And then the sanctions hit. But we got a minute left, Timothy. What else? Smoke him if you got him.
Well, I have to point out to Mel that Japanese sex robots have more than one function. And I have
you
to
would
wonder,
know.
Mel, what are you doing with Japanese sex robots?
Obviously more than you are if you've got more than one function.
Actually, he's making them clean his house. Terrible at it. Terrible at it.
Yeah.
They don't dust well.
No.
They don't clean well while I'm doing other things with them. So
Oh, you expect him to be multifunctioning.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm not going to the cabin after all.
Yeah. All right.
Sold.
Timothy, 10 seconds. You got a last one for me for the road?
Well, I just wanted to point out to Cynthia that she was confusing Terminator and Blade Runner, and referring to them in terms of iRobot doesn't really clear things up.
All right. Hey, Timothy, we're out of time. Thank you very much. And thank you to the panel and the crew. Thank you for watching. Later. Are the mics down?